Hi, this is Prios, and today I want to talk about RNG in Hearthstone and the related calculations. Introduction. What does RNG stands for? Answer: Random Number Generator. Often we get into situations in that we need to do some calculations in order to find out what the best play is. We can make luck or RNG computable if we are doing EV calculations. That will also help us to make the right decision. I will show you how it works in a few examples. Example 1. You got 10 mana and you got 5 cards left. Fireball, Arcane Intellect, Water Elemental, Arcane Blast, and Arcane Missiles. Your opponent will kill you in the next turn. He is at 5 life. How likely is it that you will win the game? He just ended his turn and you now draw your card. We at the moment got no hand cards. Let's first have a look at the remaining cards. Ping and Arcane Missiles is not enough to kill him, so only Fireball can end the game in our favor. Even if all missiles land on his face and we ping him, we just have 4 damage, but we need 5. So we need Fireball to win. This is equal to 1 out of 5 cards. So our chance of killing him directly is 1/5 or 20%. We also got another chance of killing him, and it is important to not miss that. If we draw Arcane Intellect, we get 2 more draws at our Fireball. To 1/5 or 20% we will draw Arcane Intellect. This will give us 2 more draws, with a chance of 2/4 or 50% to kill him. So the card draw gives us an additional chance of 20% multiplied 50%, that equals 10% to win the game. So our overall chance of winning is 20% plus 10%, and that equals 30%. So let's move on to our next example. We play the Mad Bomber. Our board is empty. Our opponent has a 1/2 creature. How likely will it get killed? Please pause the video and try to solve it on your own, and afterwards look on my solution. The easiest way to solve this problem is to look at the counter probability first. So we try to find out how often it's not hitting the minion at all. That means all barrels hit his or our face. That is equal to 2/3 multiplied 2/3 multiplied 2/3, or 29.6% to not hit the minion. So the minion will be hit at 1 minus 0.296, and that equals to about 70%. Example 3 and 4. We play Arcane Missiles. Example 3. Your opponent has a 3/3 on board. How likely is it killed? Example 4. Your opponent now has a 2/2. How likely is that minion getting killed? At best, also do your calcs first, then look at the solutions. Example 3 is easy. Every missile needs to hit the minion. This equals to 1/2 multiplied 1/2 multiplied 1/2, and that is 12.5%. Example 4 is more complicated. To solve it, we will draw a probability tree. With the probability tree, I will show you a way to break down complex problems in order to solve them afterwards. So that's how the probability tree looks like. Every branch has a probability of 0.5. We got 3 ways to get a kill. These are: first missile hits minion, and second missile hits minion. The second way is no hit, 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 and the third way is hit, no hit, hit. If we add up the probabilities, we come up to the result 0.5 multiplied 0.5 plus 2 multiplied 0.5 to the power 3, and that equals 50%. I hope it's correct to say to the power 3. If not, you see the formula and you can figure it out on your own. Now let's move on to our last and most complicated example. Your opponent has 2 minions. One is 2/2, the other one is 8/1. You don't have any minions, you play the Mad Bomber again. How likely is the 8/1 getting killed? Please pause and do your own calculations and continue after you got a solution. So let's start off with an overview. The bomber has 4 possible targets, the 2 minions of our opponent and my face and our opponent's face. So let's move on to the solution. Again, we first calculate the counter probability. That is 2/4 multiplied 3/4 multiplied 3/4 if first barrel hits face plus 1/4 multiplied 2/4 multiplied 3/4 if first barrel hits 2/2 minion and second one face plus 1/4 multiplied 1/4 multiplied 2/3 if the first 2 barrels kill the minion. This adds up to 41.67%. This is a number for the times the 8-1 will be alive. So we will kill it to 100% minus 41.67%, that equals to about 58%. Excurse. Our opponent now has a 3/3 instead of a 2/2. This would change the result to 1 minus 3/4 to the power of 3, and that is 57.81%. This is a bit lower than for the 2/2 calculation. This makes perfectly sense. We did the last calculation as a control mechanism to ensure the accuracy of the results. Now let's come to my final thoughts. You probably recognized that the calculations can get tricky and complicated pretty fast. The more complex our problem is, the harder the solution, but it makes sense to bother about this if you are an ambitious player, as the EV calculations will often help you to find the right play in difficult spots. I personally like puzzles and it's fun to solve them, so for me that isn't even a hassle. I enjoy getting these mysteries solved. After my outing as a complete nerd, we now come to the end of this video. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please like and/or subscribe, and also look into my other videos. Bye.